Late-night attack in Buzzah community, Zing local government area of Taraba state has left one person dead and 3 others critically injured. The assailant, identified as Mr. Dennis, is said to be mentally unstable. The incident happened around 11 p.m. on Saturday when the suspect, known in the area for roaming the streets dressed in white and pretending to preach, suddenly launched the assault. The victim, Hamayaru Chayoling, died on the spot, while 3 others, including 2 vigilante members, sustained serious injuries. Residents say the suspect had clashed with vigilantes in the past, accusing them of restricting his movement. They also confirmed that he was often seen with light weapons, raising safety concerns in the area. The injured are receiving treatment at Zing General Hospital. Security agencies have opened an investigation to determine the circumstances surrounding the attack. Authorities have assured residents that steps are being taken to prevent further incidents and restore calm in the community. This particular story drags me a little bit to what has happened in Brass local government. I think they called that place Igwema 2 weeks ago, where the governor of Bayelsa State did come to say, okay, everybody needs to cool off, as a madman picked up a machete and cut off someone's neck on a bike. Do you think we pay enough attention to mental health? Let's talk about it.
You see, this is one of the quarrels I have with our society, our state, our Nigeria, your Nigeria, my Nigeria, Nigeria. There are many things we pretend don't happen or don't pay attention, but they stare us in the face. You see, we don't have this culture of, attending to mad people as if this is a social, as if it's a societal menace. We see them all over the place, roaming the street, and I don't think it ought to be so. Even for the sake of the madman and the people, we have had cases where madmen attack people. We have had cases where madmen, not with intention, they say, oh, he just threw a stone and the stone hit somebody, and you know that stone would have only been thrown by a madman. But the thing is that it's not just a madman that just went mad. He has been known to be mad over the years. In some cases, he have known to be, and we also have cases where people have also, attacked a mad person for trying to protect themselves against the raging madman. But the thing is that if we have a society, some of these people should be kept away from the street.
Why are they on the street? We have a lot of them even in our city.
If you ask me why they are on the street, I will answer you by asking you, why is it that we don't have electricity in spite of the fact that we know it? So it's the same negligence we adopt in every other thing in Nigeria, because, there should be a Ministry of Social Welfare. Right. And in some cases we have it. For example, a place like River State, I know we have it. There should be some states in Nigeria don't even have a psychiatric hospital. A psychiatric hospital, what's the name? Why don't families of those who are mentally sick take their family member sick to the psychiatric hospital? You are ashamed of taking your family member to the psychiatric hospital, but he roams the street, which brings more disgrace to the family. You think it's a stigma going to psychiatric hospital? It's more of a stigma roaming the street than the dangers that can come out of it. And then if the people refuse, I keep saying, and when I talk about internal discipline and external discipline, if you have a functional society where things will work, even if the family refuse to take the person, that's why you have a Ministry of Social Welfare that can take people. Like in this case now, he had attacked people before. Why was no report made? Why was no effort made to take the guy off?
Because he was already showing signs of violence.
Absolutely. He had clashed with vigilante people, the report says. He had, this death is unnecessary. Why now they will take him off the street, but the deed has already been done? And the fun thing is that this may not be the only madman, but because this has killed somebody, they will take this man off the street. Even within the same locality, there will be some other madmen roaming the street, and people will say, I'll leave him now. No, he's not disturbing anybody. The issue is not disturbing anybody. Is that guy needs attention.
Because he's not mentally stable.
Absolutely. If we see from the point that he needs attention, and we owe it ourselves, which is why we have a society. Like I keep talking about social conditions that are right to society, which is why we have a government, we have a system that should be working. That guy at that stage can't help himself. So society needs to come together and help him. And ideally, society should have put in place structure. This is why, like I said, I keep talking about Ministry of Social Welfare. You have a psychiatric coach. I would have taken that guy in for his own safety and for the good of society, because he also needs to be safe, to be treated. I mean, it may not be a lost case. Maybe a little medical care can return him to a stable state of mind. And if he's returned to a stable state of mind, who knows what he can contribute to society. Right.
Now, where do we draw the line between religion and insanity? Now, I want to ask this as regards. Why you laughing? Because most times in Africa and in Nigeria, my Nigeria and your Nigeria, like you rightly said, when people begin to show signs of mental instability, high mental instability, you talked about family not wanting to be there, it's usually attributed to they've sent him, his juju. Where do we draw the line to say, okay, this is a mental problem, it is not a religious problem, it is not a juju business, it's not coming from village? Where do we get to learn as people to draw the line?
The thing is that man would always like to create an answer to some things. Whether those answers is much like a child in a classroom giving some classwork to do, and you need to provide answer. You would definitely provide answer. It's for your teacher to check whether that answer is right or wrong. Okay. So we have a societal problem. Mental issue, just not like in time past, people with swollen stomach. At least let me remind you of is it Anuka Okonkwo Zinchunu Achebetin Solapart father died of swollen stomach. He was taken to the evil forest. He wasn't given a burial, which is a stigma and disgrace to the family. But at that time, society couldn't understand why somebody's stomach could be swollen. They didn't have all the diagnosis we have today to diagnose and notice that, oh, maybe that may even have been a simple fluid that needed to be taken out or something. But because answer couldn't find, it's attributed to, I mean, if it is beyond my senses, then it must be something extra human. So we attribute it to one spiritual thing. In some cases, it may be true, at least if you live in this part of the world. You might be the fact that maybe there are some spiritual cases. But we also know that some of those things that have been attributed as spiritual cases at times have also found medical care. So if you think we can attribute some, where do we draw the line? But the thing is this, whether it's attributed to for example, mental health. If every mental health, we have a system that says once somebody is mentally sick, just like malaria, malaria can be said to be a health issue, and some other person can tell you that that mosquito that beat him is a demon. If not, how did that small mosquito come? Of all of us, why did that mosquito bite? So it's thinking. But you see, the more society keep providing answer through scientific methods, the more some of these things would be subsumed. If that guy who was said to be mentally sick as a result of village people or demon is taken to a psychiatric hospital and he got treated and he came back to his senses, that means a psychiatric hospital can also find a cure for village people's sickness. So if another person is sick, whether it be village people or not, so people will be motivated to say, oh, let's take him to the hospital. Psychiatric hospital is as much a hospital as the clinic where you go to take your malaria, you go to get treated for malaria and other. So it's about the system. Whether the people, the family people around believe it's demonic or not, government own society a responsibility to take that person in and treat the person. Of course, we know that people take their sick to religious home, which you can't deny them. But if you are not keeping that person away from the street, if that person is constituting a nuisance to society, state have to come in. If in your religious place where you're treating that person is subjected to abuse, because at times some of these things also happen. You see people who have been taken in to be treated for mental health. They say it's a demon and they start flogging.
Oh, yes.
So if it's a society that is big on rights, human rights, you know that this guy, even though he's mentally sick, he deserves some dignity as a human person. And you stop that guy flogging him to say, come on, this guy is first a citizen before he's a member of your religion. Some of these things would reduce. So if you're going to cast out the demons, I don't have a quarrel with you casting out the demons, but it's not going to be by inflicting more harm on him. I mean, the guy is sick in his mind and you're inflicting physical harm on him, which could even make him become more violent. And so I think it also comes to society. We have not developed that system that sees it as a responsibility, where government sees it as a responsibility to cater for everybody, whether that guy is mentally sound or not. If he's mentally sound, there's a place for him to go. I mean, there's a whole lot of things around these mental issues, even with parents. How many parents would want their child to study, to study? You mean you want to study medicine, yes, then you say you want to specialize in psychiatric medicine. There is this saying that, oh, the person who treats mad person will act like mad person. So your parents will probably say, God forbid. But, you know, society should have a way of making people incentive to make people do the right thing. Those that have been taken to a psychiatric hospital and got better, let us even advertise them. Let people know that there is hope, even for that mad person.